Yeah. All right, baby. WSME. SM Enlightenment Radio. What's going on? Good evening and welcome. I am the great Doc P. You're tuning in to another episode of the Sunday Night Spotlight. And every Sunday, we always speak to somebody, interview somebody of interest, somebody I think you'd be interested in, somebody that got something to say, somebody, as I said, of interest. And today we got a very special guest, okay? Mr. Doc Whitebeard is in the house from HipHop Boulevard, also from Hip Hop and Henny and doing what's best.
No doubt, no doubt.
What's going on, brother?
I am well. How are you? The great Doc P. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And hey, welcome to the world of SM.
Oh, man.
SM Enlightenment Radio. It's definitely a pleasure to have you here. And, all of us here at WSME, we're rooted in the culture of hip hop. You know what I mean? And we really like to shine the light on the real truth about the culture. Yes. Because a lot of people, just from listening to certain aspects of the art may get the wrong impression. You know what I mean? Because after all, there are attributes of hip-hop that are just pretty much just mainly entertainment. And, entertainment can go all different places entertainment can go. But we don't want people to get fooled. And so we like to say, hey, the real culture of hip-hop is all about positivity and life and living. And that's exactly what it is that you're all about with a lot of the efforts that you do. And, I'd like to just get into your story, brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll start it with just, the foundation of a lot of what brings us together, which is hip hop. And what is your first experience of the culture?
Wow.
What was your very first experience of the culture?
Hey, well, so I'm born in '68.
Okay.
Grew up in the '70s, right? So, right at the how you say the genesis of hip hop, when it started coming into the neighborhood, 78, 79.
That's right.
And, I'm like a little 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and I'm seeing my uncles and everybody, they doing their thing and they jamming to the beat, and they talking about the jams in the parks and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So, me and my partners, we running around again 10, 11, 12, as we would have it, the youth, looking for, back in the day, looking for trouble, I guess, or not necessarily looking for trouble, but getting into trouble, right, as youth,
Oh, yeah, well, hey, the trouble always finds you.
There you go. So, moving into the different neighborhoods, but I mean, not for nothing, growing up in Harlem, it was just a melting pot, man. Back in the '70s, I'm sure, it was, nothing like it is now. It was more family oriented, and so the hip hop culture was just something that we lived it. It was just something that I was born into it.
Right.
In all honesty.
Yeah, we were born into it, and me, I came up in Westchester, so I'm just a little bit north of you. I'm in White Plains, experiencing a lot of this, and as the hip hop, I remember in the late '70s, like I was really starting to catch wind of it around '78, '79, and
right.
You'd hear those muffled tapes. The muffled tapes, I was talking to Geechee Dan the other week about the tapes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Geechee got the tapes. He got the tapes.
Man.
We waiting to hear the tapes from Geechee, man. He got them in there, boy.
Yeah, and you hear that, those muffled sounds, and it's just something about that is just intriguing, you know what I'm saying? You just say, hey, I need to be a part of this thing, you know what I mean? And now I know that you've along the way have gotten into artist management and I know you doing a lot of stuff down with Fearless 4, with a lot of that stuff. How did you get into the actual musical aspect of it? Whereas you're actually managing and doing stuff like that?
I started on my YouTube venture, right?
Okay.
Man About Harlem. I have a YouTube channel. So I wanted to develop, some series along the line of different things, different topics, as I think a lot of our contemporaries are doing now, right? We're finding our voice through this medium, and so I was piggybacking, in all honesty, on my wife. She was doing YouTube, she was doing her thing, and she had a channel going, and she's cooking up a storm, and she's got her thing going. So I'm like, hey, look, aside from, working 9 to 5 and taking care of business and taking care of the family, I always had, I guess, some ambition that I wanted to bring back to life. We have a tendency to, take care of our responsibilities, and sometimes we suppress the things that we wanted to do, for ourselves, right? So with that said, I started developing my channel with the YouTube thing. Now, along the development with the channel with YouTube, I realized that, yes, I'm hip hop, but I'm not only hip hop, right?
Right.
I'm the man about Harlem. I'm from Harlem. So, that's something that I wanted to bring people. I wanted to bring awareness to other folks, about Harlem, about where I'm from, about, our culture, about everything, that I hold near and dear to me, that I love, So I wanted to bring people into my world and my life. And so I started the YouTube channel, and I started interviewing, some folk, right? So I said I would do a hip hop segment, I would do a restaurant segment, I would do these different segments along with the YouTube channel. Now, so I called my brother, right? My brother Peso 131, because we grew up together. We grew up together in Manhattanville Project.
Okay, so now that's the connection with Fearless 4.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
So we all from the same we all from the same projects, right? Or for at least Peso, myself, Mike C, Tito's from Grant, so it's right down the block, right?
Okay.
And DLB from the Hill, so we were all connected right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me as a youth with Peso, I'm 11, 12, 13 years old. He's a little older, right? He's performing, and I'm in the clubs watching him because I'm doing things and I'm running around where I ain't supposed to be. Bottom line, right? So that was my introduction into
that's 11, 12 years old though, right there. You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, man. Broadway International, 145th Street in Broadway, man.
Woo!
That's where they played all the time. Disco Fever, So Peso, being that we grew up together. We from the project. Listen, I was there when he was writing his rhymes on the project wall. He's like, yo, B, listen to this. We cutting the record tomorrow, man. So check this out. So I liken myself to a pioneer as well. I was there, when my brother was developing his stuff.
Yeah. And a lot of things that people don't really get is that someone that's close to the artist, like that's down with them, is really, because especially as hip hop, we're just reporters in a lot of ways. When you're an MC, you're talking about your neighborhood and the terminology and everything that you use is the stuff that you and your clique use, and you talk about things that you and your clique talk about. So it's like you're a part of that, just being down with that. You are a part of that whole experience. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just from being down. So, like, wow. So now, you've seen hip hop, this whole culture, and especially musically, like, evolve in so many ways. And tell me, like, what's your feeling about, the evolution of the art form? Music.
Early on, I guess the thing was, it seemed as though it would be a fad, right? When it was first introduced, it was like, oh wow, what is this new type of music, that we hear, and is this going to be able to sustain itself? You know, I mean, for us, it was like, whoa, you know, yes, you know,
and it was our own thing, and it was our own thing.
Absolutely, you know, voices from our community, about our community, you know, from our community, you know, talking about everything that's happening within the community. Oh man, you know, sucker MCs. When I heard the message, you know, all those joints, I was like, whoa, this is just music. This is it. You know, this is what we live.
Right.
You know, and to see it on video, to hear it on the radio. I mean, you know, it took. It took me, you know, to the next level. I say where, as far as, you know, culturally, right? Wanting to just be more involved in the community and more aware of what's happening with the goings-ons in the community. You know, you start hearing sometimes, you know, it's like you say, you can't see the forest through the trees, right? So when you're stuck in it, you can't really see. But hip hop was like, oh, a light bulb outside of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But you're right in the center. You're the epicenter. So it's
and it opened up a whole new world, man. It was like, oh, wow. I'm seeing things totally different now, you know? So that's what hip hop was for me, you know?
Yeah. And I know that you've taken a lot of the feeling of that culture and you know, doing other things with that, because of course you're all about as we said, positivity and feel good and doing good, and you have a thing doing what's best.
DWB, baby. DWB, that's right.
Tell me a little bit about that and the history of that and
so,
you know, how that works.
You know, on my it was a personal goal, right? So live bright. You see the logo on here. Wait, let's see. Live bright. Live right, be bright, stay light. That's the logo. That's the motto, right? Doing what's best for self. Develop because I straight up 4 years ago, doctor told me, he said, look, yeah, your pressure's kind of high. She told me. I said, well, my pressure's kind of high. I never heard that before, you know. So now 4 years ago, I'm pushing 48, pushing 50. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, right? I was about 260 pounds.
Okay.
Right? So I say, all right, doc, hold on. I mean, I've been big most of my life. You know, I've been working out, whatever, you know, from big, fat, skinny. I was muscle man, you know. I used to wrestle in college. So long story short, you know, I'm an athlete. You know, always been a pudgy guy. You know, always been a big weighty guy. You know?
Right.
So, you know, but that never stopped the show. You know, so I'm always athletic, always an athlete. I mean, I played football, played basketball, played baseball. You know, we was three sport peoples. You know, where we come from, right? So the DWB movement developed really from that, right? I go from the doctor saying, listen, you got high blood pressure. I'm like, okay. She want to give me medicine. I'm like, hold that thought. So I came back in about 3 months, right? I went from 260 to about 240, 235, right? She said, okay, you know, pressure's still up, but you lost some weight, so that's good, you know? Right. She said, but I still think you need some medicine, right? I said, whoa. Hold that thought, right?
Okay.
6 months passed, right? So now I went from 235 to about 215, right? 6 months. I'm working out. I'm doing my thing. Pressure drop, right? So she's like, hey, Mr. Creighton, all right, I see you, you know, I see you taking your health seriously. I'm like, absolutely, doc. I'm doing what's best for my life.
That's it.
Right? That's how it developed, my brother, right there. So DWB, right, you know, came at a point in my life where I had really no choice but to do what's best for my life, right?
Right, yeah.
Because the alternative was medicine, medications, getting hooked on that stuff, and really death, right? Because, you know, our communities, our peoples, right? We suffer from high blood pressure. We suffer from diabetes. We suffer from a lot of stuff, you know, that right now, you know, just the sidebar with the COVID stuff, right?
Right.
That stuff is attacking us, you know, our immune systems, because we're not taking care of ourselves, right? But I digress.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And it's tough when, especially when we're in our communities, it's not like healthy foods. And I mean, I don't even remember when, especially when we was coming up. I mean, the whole world is much more conscious now, but I mean, years ago it was like everything that was at the corner store was nothing that was good for you.
absolutely. It's interesting that, you know, the things that are bad for you are least expensive, right? And the
Oh
things that are
yeah.
healthy for you are really, really expensive, right? It's really the opposite. It's really the opposite, you know. Things that are healthy for you should be more affordable, bottom line.
Right. Yeah. It should be more accessible, but
Absolutely, especially in our communities.
yeah. But so when you made that decision to um to get healthier, now were there some specific? What are some of the specific changes that you did? I mean, when you made up your mind, because especially like we said, not always somewhere where there's a lot of good healthy options. So it's like how did you achieve to stay focused on that to do what's best for your health?
Right. So the thing that I did was, you know, again, it really helps to have, support. My wife is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human being, top notch supporter in my life, my children, my family,
Right.
so that helps tremendously, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they're eating something else and I'm eating my thing, it's all good, and it don't bother me. They just let me beat it, and they give me the support and that I need, right? They give me the words of encouragement that I need,
Right.
so that I can keep going. So, my wife was very instrumental in, making sure that, she started cooking some meals that, very, very healthy for me, And in
Mm.
fact, she started cooking meals that were very, very healthy for her, right? She took off a lot of weight. She started getting really, really healthy. So it was a, a joint effort, right?
Yeah.
And again, that's support. So you start cooking your own meals. We talk about what I did, right? You start cooking your own meals, as opposed to eating out more, right? You eliminate the things. For me, I eliminated the things that I really, really love, that I really, really liked, right? Chocolate chip cookies, ice
Oh.
cream,
Oh.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hey, listen. You know, I used to eat. I used to drink Pepsi Cola, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pepsi Cola, 64-ounce bottle, right? I mean, I
Right.
would knock at least two of those out, a day, and even the 16-ounce bottles, right? Pepsi was my thing.
Mm.
Um, M&M peanuts, right? That used to be my little snack of choice. So the long and the short of it was everything that I really liked, everything that I liked to snack on,
Had to
everything that I
go.
knew had to go. Gone. Gone. Cold turkey, Doc. Cold turkey. Okay.
Woo!
It wasn't a gradual thing. It wasn't, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? You do it cold turkey, right?
So what do you replace peanut M&Ms with, brother?
Nothing. You just
Yeah,
you just
man.
don't you just don't need nothing. You just don't need, okay. And I'll say this in all honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
To achieve a goal, right? For me, I had to eliminate it all and not go back in it, not do anything for a certain period of time, right?
Right. Right.
So if you want to make strides to really achieve your goals, you have to. There's no deviating from the plan, right? You have to stay committed for a
Mm-hmm.
certain amount of time. You have to be consistent, and hopefully you get to your outcome. But sometimes, listen, I know it's not easy. I've been there, I've been up and I've been down. I'm
Right.
gonna do a diet today, and I ate some more M&Ms and all that stuff. But once it became, in all honesty, once it became a true to life or death health issue for me,
Right.
right? Then for me, it was okay. If you deviate from the plan, you're only lying to yourself, right? So I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do it to myself. So for that period of time, I took 4 months, right? I locked myself up for 4 months, as far as my diet was concerned. Okay. And I eliminated all the things that I really, really like, right? Straight up and down. And I started my exercise program again. I started getting my workout on again. I started, balling again and just getting movement, making sure that I'm moving my body, because a body that's in motion stays in motion.
That's right.
So I just started doing that again, and getting my diet right. And with that, and the mindset is this. For me, it was not necessarily a diet, right? You change how you live a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then it just becomes natural, right? So then now, in all honesty, Doc, now I can have a little piece of ice cream. Now I can have the M&Ms. And I do 50 push-ups. I do 100 sit-ups. I do some jumping, and that shit is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And because you taking care of yourself, you can go ahead on and do that here and there and still have the strength and the energy to like you said, to exercise and to stay active, because that's basically what it's really all about at the end of the day, is to stay active. So now with doing what's best, because I was peeking out your some of your social media, you know what I mean? Whereas, I showed you, you was telling folks to get active and to dance, and you was grooving and doing stuff. So now, is there a centralized place where people can get your content dealing with that, doing what's best? Is there a website? Is there
Yeah, I definitely have the website, where I sell my products, my merchandise, right?
Okay.
Doing what's best, t-shirts, hoodies, and things of that nature, long sleeve. I also have, so I'm branching out, right? Under my DWB umbrella, I'm corporate, I'm hood, right? Another logo line, and then Big Game Country. So I'm corporate, I'm hood, Big Game Country, DWB. These are all logo lines and all some apparel wear that I'm marketing. Along with the doing what's best moniker, right? So it's really, we living right, we being bright, and we staying light is the company motto. Nice. And doing what's best, is what we as the people, should be. We all should be doing what's best for ourselves. In my opinion, yeah. Right? Because if we do that, I think everything else falls into place, right? Because if we're not taking care of ourselves, or if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, how do we take care of our wives? How do we take care of our children? How do we take care of our finances? How do we take care of our health, right? Yeah. How do we take care of our spirituality, right? So that's where I'm coming from with doing what's best, right? So it starts with self.
Right.
I promote, getting yourself right, getting your health right. Your health is your wealth. And once you do, listen, we can have all the money in the world. You see right now, right, that even the people with money can't particularly move the way they want to move.
Right.
Right. The world is COVID down, locked down. Right. So, yeah, you may be able to be a little better off in your house, but you ain't moving around like like you used to.
Can't travel like you used to be able to.
Can't travel.
No.
And all that money you had in the bank, unfortunately, for some, it didn't save a lot of lives, Doc.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of lives, unfortunately, but, again, I think a lot of mistakes were made, through this administration and all that stuff. But that's a whole other topic for, I'm sure.
Well, we're going to get into that a little bit on the other side of this break, though. We got to. I mean, because, how could we ignore it? I mean, as crazy as things are out here, but, the thing I really dig about you, brother, is that, you're on the same vibe with the station here. You know, our mantra here is positivity is everything. You know,
Yes.
and it's just so important to stay positive. I mean, as simple as it may sound, just like what you was talking about, how it all starts within,
Yeah.
you know, and taking care of ourselves. And a lot of times that means also taking care of our disposition to make sure that we looking at things in a positive way, you know?
Absolutely. Listen, you know, our mental health is essential. It's essential, you know, to everything. All right.
Yeah.
You know, like I do, man, the brain controls it all. So, you know, our mental health is really important. And today, you know, with everything that we're going through, you know, it's really important. It's, oh my goodness, I can't stress the fact enough that, you know, if we don't take time out for ourselves, oh my goodness, you know, to make sure that we right, to make sure that you're feeling good, you know, because even amidst the you know, I'm okay, and then we say I'm okay, and you know, listen, I smile, you know, because I'm happy, absolutely, you know, but it doesn't mean I don't hurt inside sometimes. It doesn't mean that I'm not going through some stuff.
We all do. You know what I want to do is we're gonna bounce to a break real quick and come back and talk more, get even more in depth with the doing what's best, and also, you know, we got to talk about that hip hop and Henny now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Gotta talk about the hip hop and Henny. So we got that and more coming up with my main man Doc Whitebeard right here on WSME Sunday Night Spotlight. Stay tuned, baby. Yeah.
That's what's up. Hip hop.
With my main man here, Doc Whitebeard, all right, of Hip Hop Boulevard, also doing what's best, Hip Hop and Henny, Fearless 4 in the house. And we're talking about your organization that you have, doing what's best, focusing on, you know, well-being and taking care of yourselves and all of that kind of stuff. And what is this something that you've always been on from the beginning? I know you had said, like, when you went on the mission, when your doctor told you that your pressure was high, but like prior to that, was there a consciousness on health with you, or is it did the doctor office was that your wake up call at that point?
Well, I mean, no, I mean, I've always been, you know, athlete, right? Always been athletic, always been working out. You know, always. I was always in the gym. You know, back in the day when I was in college. Again, I wrestled. Right, I used to wrestle Olympic style wrestling. Nice. I went to CCNY. Right. I'm a footballer. Right. So I needed some contact. Right. so CCNY didn't have a football team.
Right.
I play basketball, but you know, I'm 5'4", man. So you know. You got to know, listen, you got to know your strengths and you got to know your weaknesses, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I say, listen, I could ball, but, you know, I'm not, you know, tree tall, right? I'm not tree tall. And that was going to be, you know, a big mountain, a big hurdle to get over, right? So I say, you know, in college, I wrestled, looking for some contact.
Right.
So the working out, you know, I mean, I took physical education as far as a minor in college as well. So physical education has been part of me, you know, really since school, and really since growing up in the projects, you know, with my uncles and everybody, and my father who's in the room back there. My father was a baller. My father was this close to the NBA. He hurt his knee.
Oh man!
Right. He went to Hunter College. And you know, so athletics always.
So you come from a family of athletes.
Yeah.
You know,
you
got it. So it's in the blood.
It's
in
the DNA.
And also from listening to you talk, you know, it's very evident of, you know, like more of a positive spirit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How do you maintain that, especially in these days with all the negativity, as we were saying, with this COVID out here, and with our this government that's just crazy right now. How through what it is that you do, how do you promote to keep people in a good mental state, because really that's what it really comes down to.
Well, Doc, in all honesty, listen, I'm a God-fearing man.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's a praying woman. I'm a praying man. I like to say I have a spiritual center.
Right.
I'm not the most religious person in the world, as it were. I'm not, I'm not in church every Sunday, but I do have a moral fiber, and I do believe in the higher power.
No
And
doubt.
that in all honesty gets me through. That faith that I have that it's going to be all right.
Right.
That when my mother's praying for me, and she's telling me that it's going to be all right. That in itself, believe it or not, gives me the reinforcement that I need, for my life, man. And I think personally, a spiritual foundation is important. I mean, from my grandmother, I grew up. She was Catholic. Growing up to the Catholic Church, and every Sunday, up in so it's something that I grew up with, that's what keeps me centered. That's what keeps my feet on the ground. And despite the troubles that we're going through,
Right.
for me, that's how I sort of put things into perspective, right? I say, well, this is God's will, right?
Yeah.
And if this is God's will, then I'm going to do my part in trying to maintain, my course, right? Because we can only, I just believe that we can only control our course, right?
Right. Yeah.
And in doing that, if we do that, then everything else again, falls into place, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's when we start getting a little off course that everything else starts going a little to the wayside. So, through these challenging times right now, for me, for me to keep the smile on my face, I stay like this.
That's it. That's it. Hey, man. And, I see, even apart from the spirituality, actually, even a part of the spirituality, just keeping people feeling good. You're part of another movement that promotes a lot of feel good, and that's hip hop and Henny.
Yeah.
And I used to see a lot of the flyers and the stuff that was going on, and I didn't know who was behind that. I was like, man, this looks like a party down here, I'm stuck way up here in Rhode Island, and it's like it's a long drive. I'm like, one of these times I'm gonna have to check that out. And looks like a hell of a party you got going on down there. I know things are slowed down now with all this COVID,
Yeah.
but
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But you guys, you really building that. That was some stuff that was going on. Tell me about
We
that.
had some nice momentum. Doc. We had some nice momentum, And right when we was getting ready to throw a Hip Hop and Henny #2 in March, on March 24th, as a matter of fact, things just went whoo. Things just took off in a different direction for us. But listen, we got to do the first one, which was great. My partner and I, Peso 131, along with my associate, Boo Black, Don Turreal, and everybody else who helped us, who came through. We pulled off a really, really, really good show. My partner. So we go back to how I got involved in sort of party promoting, right? Because I wasn't a party promoter. I'm not really a party promoter per se, right? But
you kind of are now.
so Peso, my brother Peso from Manhattanville, again. So I'm trying to get this interview to get my YouTube channel up, right? So I said, brother, I said, look, hip hop, man. I called my brother. I'm like, listen, I need an interview, man. I need the interview. Come on, help me out, right?
Right.
So he's like, yo, B, I got you. Cool. I'm going to be over here. Come out to the park. we talk, we chop it up, we do the interview. You come see the show, right? So we did that. It was great. Got the interview. It was cool. Then we got to talking, as brothers do, right?
Right.
We just start chopping it up. Like, yo, so what's up? What you into? What you doing? What's going on? He's like, man, we've been trying to pull off this particular thing, this boom, 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 hip hop and Henny, because hip hop and Henny was really is really his thing, right? So
okay,
he brought me in, so we brought it to life, right? So hip hop and Henny was like a logo thing that he was working on, and he wanted to try to put this together. And you know what? It was challenging with the finances, right? With
right.
Listen, bottom line is sometimes people talk a great game, but not willing to put up some money.
That's
right?
always the case.
so it came down to me and my brother. We got our heads together. We got our books, our bank books together, and we said, you know what? We can do this. I said, I can do it with you. We can do this. So let's go. And that's how it developed.
Wow. Yeah, you
just
had,
like that.
Yeah, and I see, Fearless was there, and you had a lot of the pioneers coming through. And,
Grandmaster Caz came through. You seen Busy B was there. Shoot, Boogie Black from Harlem and Bronx.
Wow.
From New York City was there. Oh man, it was real nice, man. Rodney C.
Yep. Little Rodney C. Yep.
Little Rodney
Funky
C. Funky 4 plus 1 more.
Wow.
Oh, hold on. Grand Wizard Theodore. I had Grand Wizard Theodore on the Wheels of Steel, right? And Jazzy G.
Hey. He's the Jazzy G too. That's a star-studded, jam-packed program right there.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice, man. And so Peso and I, we was looking forward to number 2. We was looking forward to doing it again. But they shut us down, Doc. They shut us down.
Oh wow. Craziness. And so I know you gotten into some music management as well. And how's that journey been doing that?
So this one is interesting, right? Because I got to be honest. Sometimes you working with artists is interesting, right? Because they have a particular I guess direction that they want to go. Me as a manager, as far as the profession is concerned, I've been in management over 22 years professionally, right?
Okay.
So as a manager and management, you have particular ideas of what you think may work, and then artists, there's always that constant, back and forth, and so I'm learning that, expectations is not always what they are, right? And I'm learning to really lower my expectations to what's happening as far as the business is concerned. Because sometimes I'm thinking, okay, we doing this up here, and the truth of the matter is that not everybody is necessarily where I'm at. As far as energy is concerned, as far as movement is concerned. So I got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah. It is. I think it is a challenging role to play because you're both you're like a servant and the leader at the same time.
Yes.
Because and you're basically just a problem solver. You end up having to solve a lot of problems, and but to have a over a 20-year run with it, is a great thing. So with the A&R and the music and everything. I mean, as you've seen the evolution of a lot of these art forms, where do you see it going? Where do you see it going musically? Like, what do you think is going to be the real hot thing? Like, or what aspect of this whole music form that you think is going to be taken off now? Because it seems like it keeps changing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no question. I think. Well, we know one thing for sure, two things for certain. Hip hop's not going nowhere, right?
That's right.
I mean, So we're here. You know, the culture is here now.
Yeah.
It may have gone through some changes a little bit in reference to the music and the lyrics and how
Yeah,
hip hop
content.
is and exactly, and the content, right, and how it and how it's perceived. The changes from we old school, right? So from hip hop being the from the pioneering stage, man, you see it develop, and you like the direction of unity, as far as being all inclusive with the peoples, right? So that's the one thing that hip hop brings to the table. Hip hop brings unity to the world, right?
Yeah.
That's something
it always has.
Exactly.
It always has.
Exactly.
Because it transcends racism, all kinds of stuff, because it's funny sometimes when you catch a racist person really liking some hip hop. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
It makes them even second think, well, wait a second, I really like this music though.
And you get a lot of those folks that they don't even know why they hating. They don't know why they hating.
Yeah.
They only hating because their mom and papa hate it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because they were taught.
Exactly.
It has to be taught. And the pure love that comes out of the music, it just infiltrates that and just
and that's what hip hop is.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's all about bringing people together, and listen, from way back when, man, when you talk about, again, the message and all that stuff, shoot, Curtis Blow and, all these cats, man, and where hip hop went and took, off. The question was, where do I see it going? I would hope that we get back to, the essence of hip hop, that message of unity, that message of inclusivity, that message of, it's not about how many bitches I got, or how many stacks of money I got, or
money on your ear,
shoot 'em up. I mean, like I do. Half of these cats are talking about shit that they never lived.
Yeah.
So I would love to see, more content, more lyricism back into, the hip hop music, right? Because right now we got a lot of watered down stuff. And I'm not knocking the youth. I'm not knocking, what we have these days. Because bottom line is they getting paid. Say what you want, but they getting paid.
And for the most part, at least keeping at least one aspect of the art going, which is a great thing, and still delivering it to the masses, because it's still reaching the masses. And then when people really want to study it, then it, all roads always lead back to the essence of the culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
In a lot of ways, it's just, as long as it's still blowing up, it's still good. One thing that I've started to see, and you can tell me, if you're noticing the same thing, it almost seems as though, especially with, pandemics and all of this racial unrest and everything, like really bringing us to our knees so much, to the point whereas you could even start to see the music starting to reflect that.
Yes.
Because there's some stuff that's starting to come out now that's conscious.
Yes.
Like it was decades ago, and
right. Through the pain, Doc, through the pain, music sort of develops, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And listen, we've been experiencing enough pain over so many years, and you can see it through the music. You can hear it in the music. You can hear it in the lyrics.
It's always been there.
Always been. Marvin Gaye, what's going on?
That's
right.
You
know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Come on. So absolutely. I would love to see, and it's happening now, with everything that's going on today, Black Lives Matter, the Black Lives Movement, just the racial unrest that the country is in right now, the political unrest that the country is in right now. I think we're finding, and I see it, and that's where you do, I see us finding that voice again. I see some of the artists, you know, really digging a little deeper than just that surface stuff, you know, and they really trying to understand how they can make a difference with their voice right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because, you know, even some like, you know, trappy kind of sounding artists, or like some of this like new bubblegum stuff that, you know, I'm not going to mention any artist names, but even them starting to come out with some songs and even lines in there that are like very conscious now.
They're starting to get conscious. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to wake up.
It ain't all just about, you know, getting high and money and strippers,
drinking
and
syrup, syrup.
Yeah, that was a miserable time, huh? That we sort of. I mean, there's some of us still in it, but I mean, it you know, at least it seems as though we're pulling out of that, and it's almost becoming more popular to actually take better care of yourself. I'm so happy that, you know, the thing that you got going on is right on the vibe of what's happening, and it's something that people really need to pay attention to, and that is just taking care of your damn self. You know?
Absolutely.
And
that's where it starts, Doc.
Yeah. So how are some of the ways that people can stay in touch with you? Like, do you have you know, web address, or like a social media? I saw that, you know, one Facebook page that you have, or you know, what are the ways that people could stay in touch with you so they can hear more about doing what's best?
Okay, so, you know, or doing what's best, we got the website. As far as merchandise is concerned, that's docwhitebeard.myshopify.com. Okay. I'm Doc Whitebeard straight across on all platforms. YouTube, you can find me on YouTube, Doc Whitebeard. You know, again, I got my Man About Harlem series, and I'm talking to, you know, hip hop artists. I'm talking to entrepreneurs in Harlem. I'm talking to people in Harlem. I'm getting to the streets in Harlem. Just, you know, I'm doing my physical journey on YouTube as well. So Doc Whitebeard on all media platforms. IG Doc Whitebeard, Facebook. I'm Brent Creighton. That's my government, right? Doc Whitebeard. Doc Whitebeard also.
See, and that's a real brother right there. Ain't afraid to just give you the government. You know, that's an adult right there. You know,
absolutely.
Oh man, Doc Whitebeard, man, it has been an absolute pleasure, man, to, you know, just have this discussion with you, and, you know, I want to do more of them in the future, you know, and you know, especially with your Man About Harlem. So is that a YouTube channel, or?
Yes. That's on my YouTube. That's on my YouTube channel. Yes. So I got the Man About Harlem series. Check me out, Doc. Check me out. I need all the support I can get, baby.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? We cross promoting from this point on, brother.
Absolutely.
Put us a little partnership here going on. All right.
SME, baby.
That's it. WSME. Hey, I want to thank you so much, Doc Whitebeard, for checking us out. For those of you watching, I want to thank you for watching and checking us out. For those of you listening, thank you for listening. Happy Sunday evening, and have a great night. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you. Much love, much appreciation. I appreciate the opportunity. Shout out to WSME Radio. Doc P, much love. Stevie D.
Peace.
Hip hop, baby. You know what it is. We doing what's best. DWB in the house. Thank you, sir.
No doubt. Thank you, brother.